In this video, we are going to build the main body of the jug and use a sketch fillet to start to carve out the shape of the handle. We will see the pros and cons of using a sketch fillet. Start by creating a sketch on the front plane. We'll be using a center point rectangle to draw the main shape at the origin. Dimensions are 130 millimeters wide and 182 millimeters tall. We will extrude this rectangle by 180 millimeters. Next, we will draw the sketch for the handle. Use the right plane or face to start a new sketch. The basic shape is another rectangle, so these two lines must be equal in length. The bottom edge will be an ergonomic scoop. As for dimensions, we have 77 millimeters in width, located 18 millimeters from the top edge, 19 millimeters from the right edge, with a radius of 122. Now let's take a look at sketch fillets. The tool is located in the bottom right-hand corner, and it tells us to click a vertex or entities to fillet. Clicking a vertex will likely produce this pop-up, discussing how SOLIDWORKS will need to auto-adjust the sketch relations. Click Yes to allow it to adjust. We get a yellow preview showing where our fillet will be drawn in, and its size is controlled from the left. To click Entities instead, click two line segments to have SOLIDWORKS automatically pick the corner. We'll get the same pop-up. At this point, we've created the fillets we need, so we can click OK. The tool has created necessary relations to define the fillet. In this case, it's created tangents and a virtual sharp. Let's see how to manually create a virtual sharp if needed. Hold Ctrl on the keyboard and select both edges. Then, select Sketch Point. This finds the intersection between the two lines and places a point. We call this a virtual sharp. Most commonly, I can use them to place dimensions. Another useful tip when working with sketch fillets is how to dimension to the edge of an arc. See that when we try to dimension to this arc edge, it's actually measuring to the arc center point. Instead, before you click the arc edge, hold down the Shift key. Now the dimension is between the horizontal line and the maximum point on the arc. We can finish this up with the through-all cut extrude. That ends the discussion on functionality and tips. Now let's talk pros and cons. Looking at our feature manager tree, we can see that the sketch fillet is combined with the feature cut extrude 1. In this secondary example, the fillet was created using a separate fillet feature, giving us a third feature in the tree. The pro is this fillet feature is easier to modify. The downside, though, is file size. If we compare the size of both files, we see that the one with the more features is larger, despite the final geometry being the same. Downsides for sketch fillets appear when we try to make edits to the sketch. We can easily change their size so they all modify at once, but deleting fillets produces invalid sketches. We must manually adjust these lines to reproduce our sketch. The Extend tool under Trim Entities can be helpful in these cases. Sketch fillets make your sketch complex, and major edits to sketch shape can become difficult because of the many arcs and relations they bring in. As a general rule, I'd recommend not using sketch fillets and saving all of your feature fillets until your major CAD geometry is completed.